Howdy all, just going to show you my latest project that I've been working on. I thought I'd do a little video this time instead, so I'm about halfway through now. I'll just flip the camera around. I'm Gary, by the way, Bright Day Landscapers, based in Mickleover in Derby. Just flip you around, and so yeah, the latest little project. Been building this lean-to. Yeah, if we start around this side, so I'm about halfway through. Basically started, if you can see, started with a course of brickwork or block work that was sealed, so it's all been waterproofed, sealed on the outside, and then the framework, 4x2 treated tannalised timber framework, was skeleton that was built, and then a vapour barrier was installed all the way around, and then 12mm shiplap fixed on. So what I've still got left to do is, as you look where the lean-to meets the building, so it's all bolted to, it's solid. Run a bead of silicone down this side. Here we've got the power going in, 20 amp cable going to the split box, which goes to the consumer unit. Obviously, if you haven't got anything like this installed, you'll have to get an electrician out to put that in, and then we can spur off that. So yeah, with the roof was so it's a rubber roof, and I'm still in the process of finishing the roof, so there'll be some boarding to go along the top, and that'll be trimmed and tacked down. Same again on the front, and once that's done, there'll be a small gutter running. There's just a little bit of a recess there, you can't really see it at the moment, but when it's all tacked up and trimmed, you'll be able to see, which will be on a later video, next video when it's completed. So the guttering will run across that side down, and then obviously into that drain. Failing that, it will go into a water butt, so they can use the water for the garden, for the flowers. So where it joins, where the shiplap joins, I'll be running a bead of silicone down the gap, and then putting some moulding over, some right angle moulding over to fill it, so you won't be able to see that. In fact, if I just take you around, so that'll go on that edge, same again on that edge, and then the kind of thing I'm talking about is this. So you'll have the moulding over the edges, which will obviously one piece straight down, to keep out the water, keep out the moisture. Window, 18mm thick glass. Company down in Ascot Drive made this for me. Just a bit of it's a non-opening window. It's just there to let the light in the day, and then obviously at night time when the lights are on and it's dark, it's just a way of lightening up this area for them. Obviously we've got the light from the door window as well, same purpose. Now with the door, because it's such a small area, decided to go with we wanted a door that opened outwards. Bit difficult to find one, so what I ended up doing was taking the door. So again, the roof, this all just needs trimming up at the top. So yeah, so when the door's, that's the door in shut. Obviously I've had to make a rebate for that to sit into. So when this is all rubbed down, sanded, and this is all painted, same as the door sill, along that side. Still got the rebate to go across the top, and then there will just be a draft tape that goes along, so when the door's shut it will push against that draft tape and then stop any drafts from getting in. If you don't want any drafts in there, make it nice and warm. So yeah, so on the inside, got some lights, some IP44s. They work on a little switch there, so that's got to be boxed in, and then that runs on a separate 5 amp fuse there. So if any problems with the lights, that'll blow that little fuse, and then you've got your power for your fridge, freezer, whichever. So decided to go with the 8mm cladding on the inside. So before the cladding went up, it was all fully insulated. So you've got the outside skin, the shiplap, and then you've got the vapor barrier in the frame, and then you've got the insulation, and then there was a gap, just a small gap before the cladding boards went up. Same again with the ceiling, that's all insulated. So I've just got to finish. I'm having to wait for the bits of filler to set, and then I've just got this side to finish with the cladding. Same again on that side, piece across the top. So that's that all done. Moving on to the floor. So we want to get the floor up to the level of the kitchen floor. So before I did anything on the inside, I tanked it with some SBR cement. So it's all been tanked like you would a cellar floor to stop anything. It was already dry because I used the waterproofing on the outside, so that stopped any moisture. So it's all wet out here. It was nice and dry in there on the floor, and then I tanked it as well with the SBR. And once that had gone off, I started laying these blocks, 4-inch blocks. So yeah, these have had time to set now. You see, I've just had to patch in on areas where it didn't quite meet, and then moving on next is the levelling compound. So that'll have about 2 or 3 coats of levelling compound. Get the first one down in a minute, let that set till tomorrow, and then once the floor's done, once the floor's set, I can move on to getting that finished, getting the skirting boards in. Once the skirting boards are in, I can then move on to putting the mouldings. So there'll be moulding going all the way up each side, across the top to fill that gap, across that top above the door, all the way around, down that side. Same again, across the top. That'll be that finished. Get that painted, and then the windowsill. I've made the windowsill. It's just drying. I've painted it, so it's just drying at the moment. Once that's all dried, that windowsill will go on, and I'll show you all everything like that on the next video. And then we've got a bit more of a rebate just to go up the sides across the top, and then there'll just be some moulding just to finish off this edge, just to make it look a bit prettier. So yeah, it's all good. Now the reason for doing all this is the fact that we've moved into this smaller bungalow, downsized, not got much room in the kitchen, didn't want to spend much money, didn't want the trouble of having to put planning permission in and having all the floor up, concrete broke up for foundations, the expense and the waiting. So this is just a real quick and easy way of doing it, giving them more space. So yeah, so that will be this will all be treated once it's dried off. Obviously I can't treat it at the moment because it's just constantly raining, but once we do get better weather, I'm going to get some come back and get some 10-year stain on this, use some cupinol, give that a couple of coats, just like a light brown maybe colour, something like that, so it doesn't stand out too much. So yeah, so if anyone's watching this and you're thinking about moving or downsizing and you haven't got much, you know, you don't want to be running up big bills for extensions and things, you want something just simple and easy and dry, safe and warm, then get in touch and we'll have a look, see what we can do. So okay, well I'll update you again soon with the next video. Yep, thanks for watching. Cheers.